Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Dylan and today I'm going to be breaking down a key skill that you need in order to solve multiple different types of non-verbal reasoning question. In this video, we're going to dive into questions like this. Which letters make a group? Can you make other groups and explain your reasoning? If we can do this, we will unlock a skill that can help us with so many other questions. So let's just take a look at what we've got. What do we mean when we say letters? Well, when we say letters, we mean shapes because each letter represents a shape. We have A, B, C, D, and E here. And we have to start thinking about how can I group together shapes? What do they have that's the same? And what do they have that's different? So I'm going to start you off on this question right here. I'm going to start off by saying which letters make a group? We can have B and E. What do they have in common that make them a group? You're probably shouting at the screen right now. Yes, it's to do with their shading. So B and C is a group. But you know what that also means? I've actually made another group. You could make a group that is A, C, and D. And they're a group because each of the shapes have white in the middle. So there's loads of ways that you can make different groups. What I want you to do right now is pause this video and think, can you make a different type of group? So we've made groups there and our reasoning would be because of the color of the shape. Can you think of a different way to group them now? Hopefully you pause the video and have a go yourself. Well, let's try another one. I'm going to group together A, D, and E. How are they the same? Well, it's not color this time. It's to do with shape. They're all oval shapes. And therefore another group would be B and C because they are rectangles. And you can see here, what this does is it forces your brain to be thinking about all of the different ways that we can describe a shape, all of the different properties it might have. The shape, the angle, the coloring, whatever it might be, the shading as well, the number of something. There's so many different ways that we can put shapes into groups, and knowing all of those and practicing this will help us unlock those trickier questions later on. So with that in mind, let's have a look at this one. Here are 5 more. I want you to pause this video right now and just have a go at grouping them somehow. This is a group, and always use that word, because, and try and explain your reasoning. So pause the video, have a go yourself, and now I'm going to see if you manage to spot my one. So you should have a few different groups. Did you have this one? I'm going to group together A, I'm going to group together B, and I'm going to group together D. How are they a group? Now, you might be thinking, well, A and D are flat, but B isn't, it's diagonal. So the actual position of the shape won't be it. You might also be thinking, well, could it be due with the shading? The answer is no, because B and D both have 2 shaded, but A only has 1. In fact, this is a group because they all have 3 parts. C and E have 2 parts, so they'd be a separate group. In this one, I'm counting the number of something. So you could have grouped it by via shading. You could have grouped it by number. You could have grouped it by position, for example. Did you put B and E as a group? Because they are orientated in the same way. They are going diagonally like this, whereas A, C, and D are all flat. So many different ways to make a group. And the point here is there should be more than one. There should be more than one way to put these shapes together into groups based on their properties. And if your brain is thinking, okay, think about color, think about number, think about shading, all of these different things, angle, which way does it look, what is the actual shape itself, you're going to have an open mind when it comes to the other types of questions. So quick one before we carry on. This is part of our module of learning how to actually understand shape and describe shape, a key skill when it comes to nonverbal reasoning. And you can get this lesson and hundreds more via our website. If you scan that QR code right now, if you're watching this on the television and your child enjoys these videos, I promise you, every child who enjoys these videos has something amazing to say about our online resources, because it's just like our YouTube channel times 50. There's so much on there. And with every single lesson comes a homework to practice the key skills involved. And we've even recorded a video walkthrough of the homework itself. So there's a link down in the description of this video as well. You can try it for free by simply just creating an account and getting access to a few lessons. And if you like what you see, you can get access to the whole thing for so much practice. So I would recommend it. Go and give it a look. But without further ado, let's keep going here. Pause the video right now. How many different groups can you make and why? So the first group is, you might say, okay, my first group is this because I want to always see that because. I'm going to do because like this for shorthand. Then find me another group. I want a different because. Oh, the first one was because of the shape. The second one was because of the type of line, something like that. Pause the video right now, have a go. And I'm here straight away because I hope you paused it. Let's take a look right now. So I'm going to do it again where I'm going to make a group. I want you to shout at the screen, why is it a group? My first group is C and D. Why is that a group? Why is C and D a group? Yeah, quite tricky. That's because I'm going to include E as well. I was a bit harsh there. I was trying to trick you. C and D on its own wouldn't have worked because you should have been shouting, no, it needs to have E as well. Why? What is the feature that C and D and E all have in common that the other ones don't? Hopefully, it is the position of the square that you're shouting at me right now. Has a flat bottom here 3 times, and A and B are rotated around. So that is to do with the actual position of the shape. Let's try one more. Shout at the screen right now if you can tell me why A and E are a group. Can you see it? Of course, it's to do with the dashed line. B, C, and D have a solid line. Many more different ways of making groups, but it's just about getting it into your mind, all of these different possibilities, because when it comes to solving tricky questions, this is what we need to think of. No help from me whatsoever. Pause this video. How many groups can you make? Have a go. And we're going to dive straight in. Let's see if you managed to find this group. Did you put B and C and E in a group? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Yeah, okay. Did you put B, C, and E in a group? If you did, well done, because they all have a triangle head at the top of each arrow. So that's one way you can make a group there. How about, let's think. I'm going to group together B and D and E. Why? That's it. It's the position of the arrow. These are all pointing upwards. There are so many different ways. When you make a group, you might think, well, what I've left over, if I've made a group of 2, the remaining 3 must be a group. Not always true. Let me tell you why. I'm going to make a group of A and E because they both have 3 arrows. And you might think, okay, cool. So B, C, and D are all one group, right? Wrong, because they do not all have the same number of arrows. C and D would be another group because they have 2, but B would be on its own. And when it's on its own, it's not making a group, I'm afraid. We're not going to count it as a group. No. So that wouldn't count as just thinking, oh, well, what's left over is a group of 3. Not always, guys. Not always. And finally, it's your turn right now. So can you give me a group? Can it be different to what anyone else has put in the comments? And can you tell me why those shapes you put together make a group? Guys, please like the video, share it with someone you think might find it useful, and subscribe because we have so many more videos on the way. See you next time. And remember, why? Put the reason because at the end and justify your answer. Because if you do that, you become a stronger solver of these reasoning questions. See you next time.